Okay, so last time we demonstrated how theology works by creating a story that the human mind can respond back to that helps it to understand and work with these divine, ineffable realities. Today we're going to talk about the mechanics of that, because right now you're probably wondering how we went from these supernatural beings, angels, and reduced them down to algorithms in our little story. It seems a bit impersonal, and rightfully so. It's supposed to be impersonal. Even God, we sort of reduce down to these experiential aspects of his nature, and not so much something that we could actually call a being, right? And this is somewhat disturbing to some people. But even if you don't believe in God, angels, or demons, you probably still have in your mind a notion that these things are beings, that these things are objective entities, right? And that's exactly how you've been brought up to believe. Where does this come from? Well, in order to understand this, you have to now move outside of religion. You have to move outside of theology. You have to go deeper into philosophy, into esotericism, and eventually come out the side of occultism. It's unavoidable for understanding how this works. And for that, there's this book that I highly recommend by Bill Whitcomb. It's called The Magician's Companion. This is what it looks like. Okay, it's kind of backwards right now, but this is the book. I highly recommend everybody have a copy of this if you're interested in this subject matter, if you work with the paranormal, if you're interested in philosophy. This really will help to break down in very simple terms how certain aspects of esotericism relate to the kinds of things we talk about here regarding archetypes and whatnot. There's various laws of magic with a K here, and sort of laws of the occult that are fundamental to understanding the operations of these things that we call archetypes. And one of them that's very important for our discussion today is the law of personification and the corollary of that, which is the laws of evocation and invocation. Okay, let me read the law of personification real quick. Law of personification states that any concept, force, object, or phenomenon may be considered to be alive, to have a personality, and to be an entity, while the law of invocation and evocation states any concepts, forces, or objects which manifest as entities can and should be treated as real beings. Don't be fooled just because something is only the personification of a pattern of energies. You can be described this way too, because all things, all beings are merely patterns of energy that create a characterization, a personification that helps us to work with that thing, with that energy cycle. This is how we are able to work with demons and angels on that level.